Hello and welcome to the MHR Budget Podcast. I'm Rachel Mapleston and I'm joined by Neil Tonks. The budget seems to have been in the news for weeks already. So, did it live up to the hype, Neil?
Hello, everyone. You're right, Rachel. This was one of the most eagerly anticipated budgets for years. In the event, there weren't many big surprises in what the Chancellor said. This is partly because a lot of it had been leaked prior to the event, which seems to be the normal process these days. The good news is there was nothing in the budget which we need to implement immediately in payroll. That means there will be no additional software updates which need installing before the new tax year. You just need to ensure you've installed those which have already been made available. There were some changes to the furlough scheme, of course. This aspect in particular had been leaked, so no surprise there. The Chancellor said he was extending the scheme to the end of September, as the media had been saying for about 3 days. The leaks had not covered the change in the rules that goes with the extension, though. Employees will continue to get 80% of their pay, as now. However, the amount paid by the government will reduce after June. They'll pay only 70% in July and only 60% after that. The employer will have to fund the rest. This is the same arrangement we had last autumn when the scheme was due to close at the end of October. And because of this, the functionality we have in iTrent to support furlough will need to be updated. This will happen in due course to take account of the new rules that apply from July onwards. We'll probably wait a little while before we issue that, because we want to wait to see whether any further changes are made further down the line. Apart from that, little change which will have any immediate effect on payroll and HR, though there may be longer term impacts from some of the announcements. And finally, it's worth mentioning one announcement which was not made. There was no announcement of another delay to the implementation of IR35 in the private sector. This will definitely go ahead in April, as previously announced. So employers who've been hoping for another delay now have just another month to prepare for it. And on that cheery note, that's the end of this budget summary.
Thanks, Neil. We'll be having a more detailed look at the budget, including its longer term impacts, in our spring budget webinar on the 10th of March at 11 a.m. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for listening and goodbye.